So who's, so this is a go-to meeting for all the other graduates?
For the ones that left early.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great.
And if we need to start.
It looks like. Great. Well, welcome to the Educational Leadership Program Commencement 2015. I'm Dave Power, President of Perkins, and want to welcome all of you to this very special event. I don't know how some of you know about the ELP program, others maybe this the first time, but just a couple of words. This is a very special, I'd say, club, the ELP graduates, that goes back almost 100 years. Perkins educating teachers from around the world in the way that we teach children who are visually impaired and with multiple disabilities, and kind of sharing that knowledge over that period of time. Today, by our count, there's well over 250 members of this special club doing this same work for this population around the world. And, you know, so these graduates become a part of this very, I think, powerful network that connects the best teachers and ideas everywhere they go. I had an opportunity with some of our trustees in Cordoba, Argentina, one of the first places where Perkins is running a special school, taking a lot. I walked around these buildings and I saw the council and the choice board. I thought that's no other. It's a UN mission, education for all, but education for those who are visually impaired with an additional disability. No other organization so dedicated. There's advocacy organizations, but the ELPs really, in my mind, are the foot soldiers, hands-on, really building the schools and the programs around the world. So it's really very special. All of you are the connectors, connecting these ideas, bringing these ideas back to your community. And we want you to be active of this worldwide network for the rest of your. In fact, we're going to be doing things with the internet to allow all of the ELP graduates to connect to each other, share ideas over time. And if all this technology is working, we're on a go-to-meeting right now where some of the graduates from this year's class who are not here are watching this ceremony. So, really excited to be able to introduce this. I'd now like to introduce the Perkins Chamber singing "The Storm is Passing Over" by Charles Tindley, arranged by
Thank you. That's great. Before I start my remarks about this remarkable class, I just wanted to do a little shout out because as many of you know, this ceremony is being live streamed on our website, and Lilia's daughters, Alessia and Mariana, are watching this live stream from their classroom in Costa Rica. So let's give a big shout out to them. And a little closer to home, just to illustrate the commitment of people who have been through the program. I'm very happy to acknowledge the presence in our audience today of Dr. Roseanne Silberman, who was a graduate of the class of 1961. Roseanne, can you stand up? Where is she? There she is. Roseanne hasn't skipped a beat since then, and she's still coordinating the program at Hunter University in New York in severe disabilities and deafblindness. And she's also a very recent recipient of the highest honor in the vision field, the Miguel Award. So welcome, Roseanne. We're so happy to have you here. Thanks. There's a famous quote from Helen Keller that says, "Life is a daring adventure or nothing at all." And I think this group embodies that slogan, that quote. Indeed, really becoming is a daring adventure. People leave their homes, their family-born child, to come for the adventure and the knowledge they hope to gain to build better services in countries. So they have left, many left warm, sunny climates to come here. So I think this group has had the resolve that they have made this adventure and they were going to make the most of every day that they had here, and they certainly have. I kind of hesitated every time I looked at pages to see what they were up to. The winter of 2015 is extremely well documented. They were in Times Square for New Year's Eve. They've been to Niagara Falls. And if working in the cottages, attending ELP lectures, taking classes at Boston College were not enough, they looked for any opportunity they could find in the Boston area to learn some more. When Temple Grandin at MIT, there they were on Facebook standing next to Temple Grandin. When the president of Costa Rica came to town, there they were on Facebook standing next to the president of Costa Rica. And they searched every free lecture they could get to. They're just a really amazing group. And in the last week, I've kind of been having my bittersweet last talks in person for now with each individual ELP, and they have all spoke so kindly of how people related to them while they were here, and the generosity of all the staff here in sharing their knowledge and their resources with them. And all of them are going back to build stronger programs with thanks to all of you. And we'll leave our class speaker to say a little bit more about that. But in addition, I tell the ELPs at the beginning of the year that this is their time to really step back and to think about how they would like to change things in their country. And each of them had an assignment to build a proposal and thinking about something new and different that they are expanding what they do in some way. And so each ELP goes back with a dream and a plan. So Ana Lilia will go back to Costa Rica, to Alajuela Special Education Center. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And she spent a lot of time in Molly's workshop, and she is going back with the dream of building an assistive device center that will be staffed by students from her program who will become the resource for many children throughout her country. Mirla will go back to Chile and to the Metropolitan University of Education and Science, is that correct? Got the resolve to expand the coursework there, include more information on sensory disability, and to the use of technology. Supriya will go back to Saksham Trust in India, and she will follow her dream to build a very comprehensive transition program for the young adults who are in her program. Ani will go back to the Specialized Children's Home in Kabrerd in Armenia, and she will follow her dream to build an expanded assessment and resource center for families and teachers in Armenia. Arati, who works at the Sri Ramana Maharishi Academy for the Blind in Bangalore, India, will go back in following her dream to start a new early intervention service, which hasn't been done before at her agency. Edmund Musoke will go back to the Uganda School for the Deaf, where he's the head of the deafblind unit, and he hopes to really expand the agricultural program at his school for the students that he has. Joyce from Kenya will go back to Kwale School for the Deaf as leader of the deafblind unit, and she has started a small early intervention program, and she's hoping to redesign and expand the opportunities in early intervention so that children don't get left at home. Charlotte, whose name I heard many times before she came here, is the head of the deafblind unit at the Ashanti School for the Deaf. And Charlotte has a lot of plans, a lot of dreams and a lot of plans to not only expand her deafblind program, but also to include, again, early intervention. It's really a new field in many countries. Paula will go back to Chippy in Mexico City, and she is going to bolster her staff and build their capacity to train other teachers in other special schools around Mexico City so they understand children with visual impairment and multiple disabilities and how to teach them better. We're also, did I catch everybody on stage, I think? And we may have a few people here virtually who have left early. Amal Izzat from Egypt, who graduated in February. It went back with the resolve to develop, from her private NIDA Society program, she wants to develop publicly funded programs throughout Egypt for children who are deafblind. So it is not only the children who can privately afford to come to school will benefit. Benjamin Kowele went back to Tanzania, and his big dream was to have a farm where with and without deafblindness can work together, because everybody needs to work. So he's following that dream. Irina Perek from the Center for the Protections of Infants, Children, and Youth in Serbia has gone back hoping to expand their early intervention service, so less children will be placed in orphanages and more families will receive the support that they need. And finally, Claxton Dewberry, our ELP from Antigua, is taking a little detour on his dream from his job as the administrator of the T.N. Kernan School in Antigua to join Aubrey Webson at the United Nations. So everybody is leaving with knowledge, with dreams, and with energy. As graduation comes, I think, you know, some people think it's a time to say goodbye, but really it's a time to say welcome to the Perkins International family. Because, oh God, it's been like this all week. But really, Perkins International is nothing without all these people, and our examples are setting up their centers of excellence, are going back and training other people. So we welcome you as a valued member of our club. So, thank you. Okay. And next, we are going to present the diplomas. Okay. So, I don't know if you want me to read them in your hand.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So our first diploma goes to Analilia Alvarez Blanco from Costa Rica. And our next recipient is Masoki Edmund. And while we're in East Africa, Joyce Ngara. And from Mexico, Ana Paula Saldivar Rodea. Name backwards. From Ghana, Charlotte Poku. From Chile, Mila Arcos Polanco. From India, Supriya Das. From Armenia, Ani Delanyan. And last but hardly least is Arati Kanan from India. And now we'd like to welcome the secondary school chorus, who will sing Look to the Rainbow from Finian's Rainbow. the ELPs select one among them to speak on behalf of their class. And this year, they have chosen someone who, as I said earlier, I knew her name for many years. When she was training at Winneba College, she did an internship at the Model Demonstration School for the Deaf, where Martha Majors has a long history of training and support of their staff. And while she was there, she really got hooked on teaching children with deaf blindness. And she realized that there needed to be another program that could serve children in different part of the country. And so she worked very hard to establish the deafblind unit at the Ashanti School for the Deaf in Ashanti. And as I said, she's got big dreams, and we're happy to have her speak to all of you. So welcome, Charlotte.
Today is a great day for us, isn't it? Yeah. The president, Mr. David Powell, the director, Perkins International, Ms. Marian Regil, international coordinator of the Educational Leadership Program, distinguished guests, the staff and students of this enviable institution, my dear ELPs, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be called on behalf of my colleagues ELPs to give a speech on this memorable day. The good book stated in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 17 that, and I quote, "To everything there is a season, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest. In our stead, a time to come to Perkins School for the Blind as ELPs, and a time to go back home and implement the new knowledge and experiences acquired. A graduation is one of the most memorable days in everyone's life, and today marks the final chapter of our 9 months journey of academic and professional pursuit. Drawn from different parts of the world, ELP class of 2015 arrived in Perkins between September 9th and September 10th and lived in a shared apartment as one family. With our diverse cultural background, the Almighty God in His own mercy granted us the wisdom and knowledge to share each other's strengths and needs. The Perkins community, after a warm reception, shared with us all that it possesses, and this has really added to our expertise as professionals. Perkins welcomed us into their abode and into their heart with open arms. They made us feel comfortable in a foreign land by keeping us warm, fed us, and saw to our health. During our 9-month stay here, we were opportune to work with the wonderful staff from all angles. Our accomplishment has been made possible by the special roles all played in our lives as educated members of the Perkins community, and we wish to acknowledge that. At this juncture, we want to express our sincere gratitude to the Most High God for His sustenance, even with the snow, and to every single soul that contributed to our fruitful stay. Our profound gratitude to Mr. David Powell for endorsing our scholarships, and the director of Perkins International, by then, Dr. Aubrey Webson, and his team for selecting us into the opportunity, for selecting us, including the opportunity given to us to participate in workshops and seminars in and outside Perkins. We owe our indebtedness to our coordinator, Ms. Marianne Reggio and Dina, for the motherly care, guidance, and support we enjoyed from you throughout the entire program. For New York, Mom, it was really an adventure and fun. We are also grateful to all program supervisors. We value your wonderful and generous. We value your wonderful generosity for opening the doors of your programs to us to observe, practice, and participate in all your activities. We equally treasure your hardworking and dedicated staff, committed volunteers, and the lovely students on your programs for making our interactions with them very meaningful and enjoyable. Distinguished guests, the appropriate and best way to have good ideas is to have a pool of them. To acknowledge the services of these qualitative ideas, we offer our immeasurable gratitude to all our lecturers, both on campus and in Boston College, for their eloquent delivery and the readiness with which they parted with their knowledge and experiences. Your great ideas have really prepared us adequately for the tasks ahead. Our minds, our emails, and suitcases are overflowing with the resources you gave us. We thank the Research Library for locating and lending us appropriate study materials and the use of other equipment at the library. Our sincere thanks goes to the Assistive Device Center for the patience, expertise, and the technical know-how in construction of the various assistive devices to support our students back home. To the cottage staff, we appreciate the cordial relationship we shared as co-workers, and for taking good care of our colleagues, ELPs, who lived with you. We also say thank you to facility for being there for us all the time. For the individuals who invited us to their homes, restaurants, and places of interest just to entertain us, we thank you so much. The fun of it will forever remain in our minds. May the good Lord reward you for the kindness you showed. Ladies and gentlemen, since every good cause may have its own flaws, one must learn to accept some conditions and drive on. Our 9-month stay has been throughout. There were hurdles we had to clear. Apart from the tight schedules, which kept us running around 5 days a week, we vividly recall the different experiences the snow brought us. Very excited in the beginning, its long stay nearly drove some of us crazy. We had to dress in layers to survive. Our friend Mila nearly broke her leg when we saw her stripped off the steps and rolled down like a ball. We had to call 911 for her to be taken to the hospital. Thank God no bone was broken. Regardless, the Educational Leadership Program has actually transformed our earlier perception. It has taught us how to live with others. It has broadened our knowledge about offering effective and meaningful education and training to children and youth with special needs. In addition, we were able to meet and interact with wonderful personalities during the 10th Perkins Gala anniversary. Perkins, you are very special to us, and we promise to hold fast unto you all on every link. To us ELPs, Today might not be our first graduation, but it is more likely to be the wettest. We are wet with academic, professional, and diverse sociocultural experiences. We, Anna Lilia, Mila, Paola, Annie, Supriya, Arathi, Amal, Irena, Claston, Benjamin, Edmond, and I, Charlotte, are highly privileged to be honored today for successfully completing the task that was set before us since September 2014. Despite its finality, today will not be the last that we as a group will spend celebrating each other's lives together. The bonds we developed during our stay in Perkins are some of the deepest many of us have known, and it's without a doubt in my mind that we will continue to hear a lot from each other over the next few decades. Finally, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, not forgetting our students at home, we pray the Almighty God to give us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to our schools and program directors, co-workers, our communities, families of our children and with special needs to accept the changes we hope to bring in our respective domains. Long live Perkins, long live ELP program. May the good Lord bless us all. Thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you, Charlotte. This now concludes the graduation ceremony of the class of 2015. And I'd like to present all the graduates. Please, let's give them some applause. We are very proud of all of you. So we'd like to invite you all to join us, those who can stay, in the Thorndike room for lunch and maybe a few photos that will happen. So thank you all for coming. And thank you, Patrick, for playing us out. Thanks. Let's say hello to our friends here. Go out the other way.